Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the Amber May Show. I am so glad you are joining me today because I'm trying to help you get more wealth and financial freedom, paying down all your debts. Because today I'm talking to Jim Tewalt. He's the financial planner at EPS Wealth Management. And you can find him at epswealthmanagement.com or iloveeps.com. So we're going to be talking about how do we build wealth in your family? How do you get out of debt? And so much more. Gold, silver, should you buy it, should you not buy it? So we have so much that we're talking about on this episode. So do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe. Please do that because we want as many friends and families to know the financial tools that are available to build wealth and get out of debt. Hey, so join me on the website at theambermayshow.com. I have a debt calculator right there on the website. So check that out so you can easily, quickly pay off your high interest credit card bills using the debt calculator. And while you're there, if you believe in what I'm doing, consider becoming an angel investor. And the easiest way to do that is hitting the donate button and donate whatever you feel you can donate. And then you can also become a $5 monthly subscriber for one cup of coffee a month at theambermayshow.locals.com. That helps support the Amber May Show. I would really appreciate it. I've always added more content, and I have that on Telegram at the Amber May Show there. I'm on True Social Amber May, Frank Social Amber May, and I'm on Clout Hub. So find me on those locations. I've partnered with businesses to help save you money. The links are below in the description. They're also on the website at theambermayshow.com under the promo section. So check that out because I want to support like-minded patriots like yourself. And one way we can do that is to check out cupofhealth.com. And when you use promo code AmberMay, you're going to save some money. And it's just this great weight loss coffee. Tastes amazing. And it helps with turmeric. So it helps with joint issues and it helps with weight loss and mind clarity. There's so many health benefits associated with it. It's an antioxidant, so it takes away all those free radicals out of your body. That's cupofhealth.com. Use promo code AmberMay at checkout. Well, coming up right now is Jim Tewalt with EPS Wealth Management. Hey, welcome back again. Like I told you, I have Jim Tewalt. He is the certified financial planner that I love having on the show. He's with EPS Wealth Management. Thank you, Jim, so much for carving out time today to be with us.
It's great to be here, Amber. Thank you for inviting. Always a pleasure to speak to your listening audience too, and just encourage them. We need encouragement in these times.
Oh, for sure. You see the interest rates going up and you see the credit card debt exploding. You see the gas prices because Saudi Arabia is just now saying they're not going to sell as much oil to the United States. So that means the price of gas is going to shoot up. We know that groceries are so expensive. And so what we want to do, you and I, our hearts are to help the regular everyday person get out of debt, build wealth in their family, make good financial decisions so that they are also having a retirement at the end of the day when they get to that place in their life where they want to hang up their working hat and go and enjoy life and do whatever they want to do. You and I found a great debt calculator. I have it on my website right now at theambermayshow.com. So if you're interested in paying off those high interest credit cards super fast, the debt calculator is right there on the website, theambermayshow.com. And pretty soon it will be on the EPS Wealth Management website. So we want our websites to be that educational tool so that we can help our listeners, our viewers, our clients get the best help at the click of a button without having to necessarily make an appointment. But if they want to make an appointment, our first consultation with you is free. Isn't that correct?
It is free. It is free. Yes.
So what's the phone number for people who want to make an appointment with you to sit down either with a Zoom call if they're not in our state, or if they are in our state, want to come and meet with you?
Well, the best thing to do is to call our office at 623-537-3657 if it's a local call, or we have an 800 number, 1-800-4, and then spell out my last name, Tewalt, on the keypad. I wish I knew the numbers, I would tell you, but if you spell it out on the keypad, that works. And Mary will set up a time for us to get together, and on those calls we invite people. We've had grocery bags full of papers, shoe boxes full of papers, people that just come in and flop all of their financial worries on the table, and we just dig right in and we'll answer questions. We'll look at things that you're doing. We'll try to give you some ideas on how to get free from whatever it is that's oppressing you at this particular point. And by the way, Amber, I'm glad you mentioned the debt calculator tool. A certain a financial guru by the name of Dave, we can all figure out his last name, has done very well using that tool. But that tool has been around for dozens of years, a lot of time, probably, I jokingly say, since Noah filled the boat with animals 2 by 2, that calculator has been available. But having it on the website, having it on your website as a tool where you can just put in your debt, the people that you owe money to, and the interest rate, and come up with a plan for paying them off more quickly, is such a great idea. You know, people get overwhelmed when they're in debt. They get overwhelmed financially. They get overwhelmed by a lot of the news media today. It's all negative, negative, negative. And by the way, earnings reports are looking good. So that's one positive in the midst of all the negatives. But if you focus on the negative, you'll just go down. So we want you to focus on the positive, and there's no better way to do it than to take your debt situation, plug it into a calculator that can help you organize the repayment of your debt, so that you pay off some of the smallest balanced, highest interest rates loan first. First of all, you're just going to pay off your debt a lot quicker. But secondly, and most importantly, if you have a couple of victories, if you pay off a couple of cards, you're going to feel good about yourself financially, and you're going to be more apt to be willing to take on the world, get rid of the rest of the debt, and start going positive with your finances.
Oh yeah, just one alone, like you just felt that a weight lifted off your shoulders of one more person you don't owe anymore. And when you don't owe people, it feels amazing. Your money can go a little bit further when we don't owe anyone. So that debt calculator is so amazing. So if you go to theinformation.com, click there, there's a debt calculator tab, and you could start using it today. Now, you are my gold and silver guy. You are the person I go to buy my precious metals from. Right now, I think it's such a great time to be purchasing precious metals, because for me personally, how I feel about it, there is just some certainty in knowing I have something of value in case our money gets devalued. So for instance, right now in the global world, you have Saudi Arabia, you have the BRICS nation, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, and others coming on board to build their own currency backed by gold and silver. And so what they're trying to do is take the US petrodollar away, and they want to get rid of it and use other currencies to buy petro from Saudi Arabia. Now, that is what is holding our money on the world scale very valuable. If that happens, I don't know what will happen to our money. I can't predict that. But knowing that I have some precious metals in my safe makes me feel better that I will have something to trade with. So tell me what you tell your clients about precious metals.
Well, again, it's about holding things that have intrinsic value. I have somebody trying to call me on the phone here, so I'm just going to ignore that. So it's about holding things that have intrinsic value. And gold and silver have had value since the beginning of time. Since men found shiny bits of gold in stream beds, they have had intrinsic value. Land has intrinsic value. There's only so much of it. Dollars dollars have value that we ascribe to them. Dollars are printed on very nice paper, linen paper. It's better than the average piece of paper that you might put through your photocopier, but it's paper nonetheless. It has no intrinsic value to it. So what I say to clients is, look, have some cash on hand. In case the credit cards go down or your bank suddenly fails. Not that couldn't happen. I guess we've seen a couple of those this year, so we know it can happen. But have some cash on hand, and then have some gold and silver in a safe place, so that you can get at it regularly. The peace of mind that comes from having that makes all the sense in the world. And we have seen in history, Germany after World War I, where reportedly people went to the grocery store with wheelbarrows full of money, and they'd come out from the store and they would find the wheelbarrow stolen and the money still on the pavement. That's kind of a joke, but not a joke, because it actually did happen. Actually, the wheelbarrows were worth more than the currency at that point. So it just, for me, it makes sense to be prepared.
Right. And so when people purchase like gold and silver from you, you actually ship it to them. If they're local, they can pick it up from your office. It's not you holding on to it. It's not in some safe somewhere where nobody really knows where it's at. You ship the gold and silver to the client. And if they wanted to purchase some gold and silver right now from you, what's your phone number to give you a call? Because I think now is really a great time to be buying, just especially because of the uncertainty going on in the world. I just spoke to someone who is a mother of a soldier, and they've been deployed 5 different times, and they live in the Pacific, and they weren't supposed to be deployed. So there's things going on in the Pacific, if you can catch my drift. I don't know if it's like really public knowledge, so I don't want to like spill out the beans, but there's things going on in the Pacific area. There's things going on with the BRICS nations. And for me, I just have peace of mind knowing I have precious metals. So if someone wanted to go today to call you and be like, Jim, Tewalt, please purchase some gold and silver for me, what's the number to call again?
It's the 623-537-3657 number, or the 1-800-4TEWALT. Either one works. Rings at the office here, and we're happy to talk to you about those purchases. And by the way, I have Amber, from talking to me, I have some very definite feelings about gold and silver, and it's an unregulated industry. So there's a lot of people out there that will take advantage of you. They will sell you coins that are a very high quality. Is when you're buying them coins, it seems sometimes that they're very high quality when you're buying them, and suddenly they slip a few notches when you go to sell them back. Unless they're registered through like professional coin grading services or one of those. But that industry is just rife with people taking advantage of people. And what we're going to do, we work with a very prestigious firm, a very good firm, a bunch of very fine gentlemen that I trust. They've always treated me honorably, and I treat them honorably. We get very good pricing. We get wholesale pricing. We disclose the pricing that we're paying for the metals to the customer. We add our markup, which is on purchases under $100,000. We mark it up 5%, over 100,000, 3%. And if it gets close to that number, it could be faded or massaged a bit. Let's just put it that way. But basically, you are going to, first of all, if you work with us, we can lock in prices. I can lock in prices at our distributor with my word. Now, I have to keep my word, which means you have to keep your word if you're going to buy. But when the market is moving up, the ability to lock in pricing when the market is moving up quickly is a great advantage. I had a situation years ago where a guy wanted to do $180,000 of gold purchasing in his IRA, which I'm not a big fan of, doing it in the IRA. I'll talk to you about that later if you ask. But I was able to, what I told him was, and he was going to work with another firm. I said, well, just give me a chance to show you what we could do for that 180,000. And so he gave me the chance. I showed him what we could do in terms of gold and silver, and he jumped on that just immediately. So I know that, well, I know the other firm he was trying to work with, and I know that their markups are pretty much on the unreasonable side, in my opinion. But we were able to help him, and I was able to lock in that pricing. And it actually took him 3 weeks to get his money out of the place that he wanted to take it from, to get it down to our company and complete the purchase. But we held that pricing for him, and pricing was moving up. So he was one very, very happy camper, so to speak. So we're not going to try to put you into coins that are going to be big money makers for us and not big money makers for you. I hate that. That drives me nuts. We are going to show you how to purchase things like junk silver. And junk silver is just U.S. coinage, 90% silver, minted prior to 1965. It's easily recognizable. If the currency would go down and you had to go to the grocery store, anybody can recognize a dime or a quarter. And if you look at the side, you don't see any copper on it. If you take out your penknife and scrape the side, you will not see any copper because it is 90% silver. And it's a coin that you'll be able to easily exchange for whatever it is that you want to buy. When it comes to gold, again, I like the Krugerrands. I like the American Eagles.
I like the American Eagles. Yep.
I like the gold that does not have the high markups. Honestly, if you want to buy the very rare coins, I have an excellent resource in Florida. A good friend of mine that I met at the Barrett auction years ago. He's very honest. He works with some very high name people. He knows what he's doing in that room. And if you want to buy that type of thing, I'm suggesting if you're going to go into that room, go in with an expert, someone that's going to protect you and keep you from being taken advantage of.
I also like silver eagles too. I like silver eagles and gold eagles.
Silver eagles. We almost forgot about them. Sorry about that, silver eagles. We did not mean to intentionally, forget about you this morning.
I'm going to get to that thought in just a second, but right now I'm going to take a quick break.
In the early 1900s, like in 1920s, 30s, with $20, you used to be able to buy an entire men's suit. You could get the handkerchief, the tie, the vest, the jacket, the pants, the belt, everything. And you could also buy that with a piece of gold. Now, in today's standards, you can't buy much with $20. Maybe a tie, maybe that's it. You could not even come close to an entire men's suit with a $20 bill. However, if you still had a piece of gold, you could still buy an entire men's suit with that piece of gold. See, silver and gold have intrinsic value, and it's had intrinsic value since the beginning of time. It's always been a currency around since the existence of man, gold and silver. So why not protect your investments and protect your earning power by owning some gold and silver? And the easiest way to do that is contacting Jim Tewalt at EPSWealthManagement.com. That's Edward Paul Sam, wealthmanagement.com, EPSWealthManagement.com. Give him a call and let him know you'd like to have some tangible assets in your portfolio. You'd like to have some gold and silver, and he can help you do that. So if you're ready to protect yourself and protect your investments, then go ahead and give Jim Tewalt a call, whom you've seen on our program at EPSWealthManagement.com. Let him know Amber May sent you.
I'm Clay Clark. I'm a very pale male, and you're listening to the Amber May Show. Hey!
Do you love coffee? Well, you're not alone. Over 150 million Americans drink more than 400 million cups of coffee each day. But does your coffee love you as much as you love it? According to the University of Santa Maria in Brazil, the average coffee today contains up to 117 pesticides and over 30 mycotoxins. And long-term pesticide and toxin exposure has been linked to many health issues such as Parkinson's, asthma, depression, anxiety, ADD, ADHD, and cancer, and more. So perhaps the problem is in your cup of coffee. But don't worry, Java Boost Coffee is here to help. With triple lab tested organic coffee, coconut cream, ginger, turmeric, and the newly discovered muscadine grape with over 100 antioxidants, and better still, no pesticides, mycotoxins, there's no roasting, brewing, grinding, measuring, or even sweetening. Java Boost Coffee reduces hunger and cravings, stabilizes blood sugar, and promotes mental energy and clarity. Just add a scoop of Java Boost to hot or cold water and you're ready to enjoy the delicious cup of gourmet, healthy coffee for less than $2. How much are you paying for your unhealthy 117 pesticide and mycotoxin coffee? Look, we all love to drink coffee. Let's drink coffee that loves us back. Let's drink Java Boost Coffee. Simply go to cuppahealth.com today. That's cuppahealth.com. Be sure to use the promo code AMBER and save 20%. You can even order a single sample of Java Boost Coffee for just $1 and try it before you buy it. Just go to cuppahealth.com and use the promo code AMBER and save 20% today.
Listening to the Amber May Show, and now we return to the show already in progress.
Yes,
And
so
the other
those are great.
The other thing that you do for clients that is so important, and people really need to think about it, because I think it's the last thing on everyone's list. It should be in the top of the list, because we never know when our number is going to be called, and it could happen at any point in time. And to have everything documented, your wishes documented properly, is everything. Because if you don't have a trust and you just have a will, most of the time it goes to probate, and that costs your estate a lot of money in probate. And then you're going to trust this judge to deliver your estate the way you wanted to. And maybe that will happen, maybe not. I'm a big firm believer in trust. And so one thing that you do very, very well is you create trust for your clients. Tell us a little bit about trusts.
Well, in Arizona, there is a program called the Certified Legal Document Preparers Program. It was created by and is supervised by the Arizona State Supreme Court. And it basically allows someone who is not an attorney to prepare legal documents independently. We don't have to do it under the direct supervision of an attorney. And living trust portfolios is an area that we just spend a lot of time with clients because, Amber, as you mentioned, you don't know when your number is going to come up. We just had that within our family recently, where a very close friend's mom, her life was tragically taken by her roommate, a live-in roommate, just a couple of weeks ago. And when something like that happens, having the papers in place is just, it makes so much of a difference. If you've got kids, if you've ever raised kids, there is such a thing as called sibling rivalry. Mm-hmm. It happens even in Christian households, unfortunately or fortunately. Mm-hmm. It's a part of life. So it really behooves parents to take some time and to put together a plan for managing their money, first of all, while they're here. If they're incapacitated, that's one of the big areas. That doesn't get managed or mentioned as much as probate does. Mm-hmm. But yes, if you have a will, you're going to probate, unless it's a very small estate. Then you can avoid the formal probate process, but you still have to do what's called an informal probate. So no will, you're going to probate. Will, you're going to probate. Living trust, you can avoid probate. So it just makes all the sense in the world. And with a living trust, you can exercise some control beyond the grave over the inheritances that you leave to your children. You can protect them from creditors, from lawsuits, from toxic spouses, from beneficiaries that aren't good at handling money, beneficiaries that are trapped in substance abuse, mm-hmm. Just in bad situations. using a living trust, you can actually, again, exercise control beyond the grave. But more than that, as a parent, if you have children that handle money well, you let them handle the money. If you have children that don't handle money well, it would not be smart on your part. You wouldn't be a good parent if you just put enormous amounts of money or resources in their hands. Even in the Bible, when talking about the parable of the good steward, the Bible says that the master gave his stewards money or resources to manage according to their abilities. And as parents, that's a responsibility that we need to look at our kids. My kids today are all great money managers. They learn from their mom, but in their early 20s, we put some protections in there, because I thought that the first words that might come out of their mouths if we passed away would be maybe Maserati. They might have, they headed for the dealership right away. So, but again, today they're great kids. They manage their money well. But you just have to know your kids and know your situations and protect them, even if it means protecting them from themselves.
One tool that we both really like, and I think it's the easiest way to start building wealth into a family, is using life insurance. And it's so much more than just a death benefit. If you're a young family and you don't have a lot of money, it's very important that you get at least a term policy. At least, if you're the head of the household and you have young kids and you have a young wife and you have a mortgage, bare minimum, it's the cheapest form of life insurance, so that if anything happened to you, your family could pay off the house or keep the bills going until the wife figures out what's next. But the very wealthy have done different things with life insurance. They have put generational wealth into their family, not only when they pass on, but while they're living. So let's talk about be your own banker for a minute.
Okay, great. You're so right, Amber. When we're young and we've got 3 or 4 curtain climbers, is what we used to call them, or rugrats. Curtain climbers, I guess, is probably more acceptable these days. But children, you got 3 or 4 children. You're just starting off in life. You want to get some protection for your family. Definitely inexpensive term insurance, as much as you can possibly afford, is a good idea for most families, all families. But as life goes on and you prosper more, what happens is that cheap term insurance that you bought when you were 20 years old and in the prime of your health, now 20 years later, you've put on a few pounds. Maybe you're doing some things on the weekends. You're skydiving. You're flying airplanes, and you just got a learner's permit, or you're scuba diving with the sharks. You're doing some things that would make insurance companies, freeze up in panic. So if you just buy the cheap term insurance, what you're going to find is that when that insurance runs out, and term insurance pays not if you die or when you die, it pays if you die. So if you die during the term period, it's going to pay, but if you don't, it won't. And insurance companies have been keeping financial records, or records of how long people live for hundreds of years. I've heard people say, well, life insurance is a gamble. Well, it is for you, but not for the insurance companies, because they keep very good records. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how many of us are going to die in any given age group in any given year. They can't say, Amber, it's going to be you or me, but they know the numbers. So for them, it's not a gamble at all. It's a business. But for us, when 20 years later, after you bought that inexpensive term insurance policy, you may not be in the shape that you were when you bought it. Now, if you bought well, there's such a thing as called convertibility in the policies, and you can convert and get some permanent insurance. But a lot of companies that have those conversion policies, let's just face it, they offer the conversion. They're going to give you extended insurance coverage to you in the future. but you could be pumping your heart by hand, and the companies know that. So the conversion policies are not necessarily the best that you're going to get. It's, you can go to the car lot and you can get a 1970 VW Bug, and that'll take you around town. Or you can get a nice new Mercedes or Cadillac Escalade, or Ford, if you're a Ford man, and F-350 King Ranch or something. So when you're buying your life insurance, it's good to look at your situation. And again, protection first, I think, is really important. But beyond that, you can use life insurance policies that pay dividends, for example, and those dividends grow over the years. And what happens is, in your later years, the dividends can be sufficient to pay for your life insurance premium, and so sufficient that there's more left over after they pay the premium, and they can buy you some additional life insurance that just keeps growing in the future. So you can get to the point in your life where you don't have to pay the premiums anymore, but you still have the insurance. And you know what I've found in my years of being in the financial services industry, it's they used to say you never outgrow your need for milk. Well, we can argue that point, I guess, today, but I believe that you never outgrow your need for life insurance. The reasons for owning it just change over time. And the new policies now, what they call hybrid life insurance, will allow you to use the death benefit of the policy to pay for long-term care or catastrophic health care. Now, you mentioned be your own banker, and you probably thought I was going to miss that, but I didn't. I was just thinking of that's saving the best for last. Specially designed life insurance policies will allow you to put money in an account with the policy, and some of those accounts are paying over 5% interest right now. It's money that you can put in and take out whenever you need to. So you can build up a stash of cash, so to speak, in your specially designed life insurance policy. And by the way, if you don't use the specially designed policy, this will not work well. Correct. And you'll be unhappy. So give us a call, do a little due diligence before you let somebody put you into something that may not be appropriate for you. But if you use a policy that's appropriately designed, you'll be able to get at your cash. And usually what happens is, in a good policy, they will continue to pay you interest on the money that you took out, but they'll charge you interest on the money that took out. So you may earn 5 and pay 6%. You may have a net cost of borrowing of like 1% out of the policy. Now, when you look at the numbers, it sounds, like, oh my gosh, is that really real? When you look at the numbers, you'll see that it is real. It does work, especially if you get the right policy. These things are magical. I call them geese laying golden eggs. And when I find them later in life, I encourage people to hang on to them. Sometimes I have to show them how to do that, how to reduce their premiums, or maybe even use the dividends in their policies to eliminate their premiums entirely. But those policies are geese that are laying golden eggs. And if you don't know what that is, we'll explain it to you. But it's an old, kind of a kid's tale about a farmer that had a goose that was laying golden eggs, and he got a little greedy, and he thought he would cut open the goose and get all the eggs. But, the goose was just producing them one at a time. So when he killed the goose, he killed the egg production. And we don't want you to be dumb and do that. We want the egg production. So we're gonna show you how to do things so that it enhances your quality of life and your quality of living, helps you plan for retirement, helps you plan for that day that you may no longer be able to rely on an employer paying you wages. In fact, some people like to be independent of that earlier anyhow. So that's our game plan. That's what we like to do. We like to see you create predictable streams of increasing wealth that you can count on in your later years.
With infinite banking or be your own banker, I encourage anyone with young children to start now. For one, you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck. They're very healthy. Getting insurance sooner than later is best because you never know if your health is going to take a turn. There's no credit checks. No one's going to deny you getting, as long as there's money in that account, you can have access to the money. You can purchase it for big ticket items like when your kids turn 16, down payment on a house, a wedding, possibly college, supplemental retirement income, a boat. You can use it for using that to create more financial wealth with more assets. Like if you want to buy this stock or that stock, or if you want to invest in this business or that business, you have access to money. You can purchase land. As long as there's cash in there to do so, you can use that money however you see fit. And then you pay yourself back. That's why you're be your own banker. And the cool thing is it's income tax free money. So
Yep.
the wealthy have been doing this for a very long time. And now we are trying to tell middle America about it. So you can use a cash value life insurance plan structured correctly to build wealth into your family, where you have an emergency fund possibly, or just use it for whatever you want. Or it could grow as long as you want it to. Or if you don't even want to touch the money, that's fine, but at least you know there's a nest egg there. So I'm a big fan of Be Your Own Banker, and I don't want to gloss over the hybrid life insurance policies because these are super important. In life, you might know the statistic. I don't remember the statistic, but a lot of Americans end up needing some type of long-term care and services, whether they come inside the
Over
house
60, it's over 60%.
over
And
60%.
yeah, and the older you get, the higher the percentage gets. So it's good to live longer, but the percentage of possibly needing that type of help in the future increases as you age. And you're right, Amber. If you have a policy that's designed to help you be your own banker, that can take care of long-term care or catastrophic medical costs later on in life, that can help you build a death benefit that's going to pass income tax free to the next generations to give them a boost in life. You've done a lot, and honestly, people who talk down on life insurance are simply at best, they're misinformed. There's some that are just dumb, but I'm going to give you all the benefit of the doubt and just say you are misinformed. But if you get informed, you're going to get pretty excited as to what this financial tool can do. There's a lot of financial tools. There's the stock market, there's annuities. Life insurance properly used is a tremendous financial tool.
Yes.
I'm just going to say one thing. You take out a mortgage on your house, and let's say you pay $100,000 for a house, which in Phoenix is literally impossible to do unless that house, has four wheels under it. That way you might be able to do it. I'm speaking fifth wheel travel trailer here for those of you who are wondering. But if you pay, let's say you pay $300,000 for a house and you put it on a mortgage, you're going to pay about $900,000 for that house over your lifetime. Now, would you rather pay the extra $600,000 to yourself, or would you rather pay it to your friendly banker? If you're a banker, I'm sorry, I know you'd rather have it, and a lot of us will give it to you. But if you're a parent, if you're a grandparent, and you want to help those grandkids today, a specially designed life insurance policy that can protect those kids, protect their insurability later on in life, that can build up a cash value in there that they can use to buy their first home, to do whatever they need to do in life, rather than going to the bank or the credit union to borrow money, or worse yet, to the credit cards to borrow money. Having a source that they can get funds from in the future. If you're a grandparent and you want to help your kids or your grandkids, you need to talk to us about this concept, because there is no better way to help them in a way that they will remember you for their lifetimes. Every time they use that policy, every time they look at the cash that's there for them and money that's there for them, you will come to mind. So if you want to create a legacy of lasting memories, I don't believe that there's any better way to do it than this.
See, and these are why you want to talk to a financial planner, because some people don't know that these tools exist. And if they do know they exist, maybe they don't know all the ways you can use these financial tools. That's why you talk to someone you can trust. And I trust Jim Tewalt of EPS Wealth Management. You can find Jim at epswealthmanagement.com or iloveeps.com. You can also give him a call. What's the phone number again?
623-537-3657 if you're local. If you're not, the 1-800-4-TEWALT. Find the letters on the keypad and push them and it'll work.
Well, I want to thank you, Jim, for carving out time out of your busy day and coming on and giving us some tidbits on how we can grow and protect ourselves in wealth and protection. So thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Amber. You just you do great. You do great.
Are you looking for a doctor you can trust? Then look no further than Dr. Meehan, and you can find him at meehanmd.com. That's MEEHAN as in Nancy, MD.com for all your healthcare, supplemental, and telemed needs. And you know what my family did? We shopped at his supplemental store and we purchased these 2 items to help support our gut health. These are supporting our gut health because you know what? The gut health is so important. Our immune system is in the gut. Our serotonin is made in the gut. And so the most Americans, if you know, have a leaky gut. So if you're looking to improve your health, whether you're improving your gut health or your immune system, or you just have something that you need to talk to a physician about, go to meehanmd.com. That's MEEHAN as in Nancy, MD.com. And while you're there, make sure you use the promo code AMBER so you can save some money. And while you're at the website, make sure you set up your telemed appointment and then check out all his supplements that he offers as well. That's meehanmd.com. Use promo code AMBER at checkout. Hey friends, I want to tell you what I recently did. I broke away from the big 3. I was tired of the woke mobile and I wanted to go to a Christian conservative company that I could trust, that support the organizations that I value, and that is Patriot Mobile. So when you go to patriotmobile.com/Amber, you are going to get free activation. It is super easy to get started to switch from the big 3 to Patriot Mobile. They'll walk you step by step. It is not difficult at all. And I've had tremendous service since I made the switch. So I recommend if you want to vote with your wallet and support a company that supports your values, go to patriotmobile.com/Amber and save on a free activation. So that's patriotmobile.com/Amber. Now the links are in the description below or on my website at theambermayshow.com/promo. So check that out. So it's time to vote with our wallet, ditch the woke mobile, and go to a Christian conservative mobile. And that is patriotmobile.com/Amber. Hey, so when you are a guest at the Amber May's house, you get luxury. And how you get luxury is I have this sleeping couch, this sleeper sofa, and you're telling me that's not luxury. It is when you put a MyPillow mattress topper on it. All my guests that have come over and stayed at my house have really enjoyed this sleeper sofa, which says a lot because they're getting to sleep on the MyPillow pillows. And you get the MyPillow mattress topper, and then it doesn't stop there with the luxury, because when you shower at the Amber May Show's house, you get to have a MyPillow towel. I don't have the kids using it. I just let the adults have the luxury. So the adults get to use the MyPillow, and they're phenomenal. And right now, there's a massive sale going on with the MyPillow towels. So you should really put luxury into your home and live it every day like Amber May does every day. So I have a MyPillow mattress topper on my bed. I use the MyPillow sheets, the MyPillow towels, the MyPillow slippers. I live luxury and I don't have to pay the luxury price because MyPillow has promo code. So use my name, Amber, and save up to 66% off. And you can live luxurious as well.
Thank you for joining us today on the Amber May Show. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if there's someone that came to mind, please share this episode with them. Please follow us on Telegram at The Amber May Show, True Social Amber May, Frank Socially Amber May, or Clout Hub. I can't wait to see you next time on the Amber May Show.